It's only a kick, a jump, a block. It's only a serve. It's only a tackle, a run. It's only for the fans. After all, it's only pressure. You got this. Adidas.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Jewelry isn't a gift you give just once. It's a way to remind your loved one of a beautiful moment every time they see it. Blue Nile can help you find the gift that says how you feel and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com to find the perfect jewelry gift for any occasion. BlueNile.com.
Welcome back, Ram fans. This is Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are proud members of the Fans First Sports Network. That's fansfirstsports.com. You can also follow us on YouTube. Our channel is at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. You'll hear from my co-host, Tom, on occasion as well. Hey, we're not Rams insiders. We're just longtime fans who love talking about our Los Angeles Rams. Let's get to it. A note before we get started. This is some pre-recorded content. We are out of the office for a few days. Any breaking Ram news, you won't find it on this episode. We'll cover it when we get back. All right, we're picking up where we left off. Our countdown of the Rams' top 50 players all time, which will lead us to our Mount Rushmore of Rams. So we got 50 through 26 covered already. We're going to pick right back up at number 25. Who is our 25th greatest Ram of all time? Safety Nolan Cromwell played 11 years for the Rams after being drafted in the second round of the 1977 draft. 3-time first-team All-Pro, 1-time second-team All-Pro, 1980s NFC Defensive Player of the Year, and he was named to the 1980s All-Decade Team. Number 24, punter Johnny Hekker. Yeah, I'm putting a kicker on this list. Johnny Hekker, one of the greatest punters ever, came out of Oregon State undrafted in 2012. Rams signed him, went on to become a 4-time first-team All-Pro for the Rams, 2-time second-team, and a member of the 2010 All-Decade Team, and he is, of course, a Super Bowl champion. Number 23, offensive lineman Dennis Hara, the 11th overall pick in the 1975 draft out of Miami, yet another great offensive lineman for the Rams, a fixture on that offensive line for 13 years, first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, Dennis Hara. Man, we got a bunch of guys kind of in that same category as Hara. Maybe not elite offensive linemen, but pretty darn good. Number 22, going back a ways for this one, linebacker Les Richter. Second overall pick in the 1952 draft. Who out there remembers that? 4-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, and a member of the Hall of Fame. Number 21, wide receiver Henry Ellard. Came out of Fresno State, played for the Rams for 11 years, two-time first-team All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowler, 1988 NFL receiving yardage leader, finished his Rams career with 13,777 receiving yards. Only Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt have more. Number 20, linebacker Isaiah Robertson. 10th overall pick of the 1971 draft out of Southern University. Played his entire 12-year career with the Rams. 1971 Defensive Rookie of the Year, four-time first-team All-Pro, two-time second-team All-Pro. Number 19, defensive back Eddie Meter. 7th round pick out of Arkansas Tech in 1952, two-time first-team All-Pro, three-time second-team All-Pro, and he was named to the 1960s All-Decade team, and he is still the Rams' all-time leader in interceptions with 46. Number 18, wide receiver Tom Fears. Born in Guadalajara, Mexico, 11th round pick in 1945 out of UCLA, the first Mexican-born player ever drafted by an NFL team. Went on to become a first-team All-Pro, two-time NFL reception leader, one-time NFL receiving yardage leader, and a member of the 1950s All-Decade team, and he is in the Hall of Fame. And in the Rams' 1951 NFL championship win over the Cleveland Browns, his 73-yard touchdown broke a 17-17 tie. Pretty interesting that Isaac Bruce had a 73-yard touchdown catch that broke a 16-16 tie in that Super Bowl win over the Titans. During his first 3 seasons in the NFL, he led all NFL receivers in catches and broke the league's single-season record with 77 catches in 1949. And then he broke it again in 1950 with 84 catches, including a then-record 18 catches in one game against the Packers. Number 17, quarterback Bob Waterfield. Waterfield might be our first Cleveland Ram. I think he is, although he ended up making quite a name for himself in Los Angeles, marrying Hollywood starlet Jane Russell. He was a 5th-round pick of the Cleveland Rams in 1942, NFL MVP in 1945, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro, and a 2-time NFL passing leader, and a member of the 1940s All-Decade team, won that NFL championship, and also a member of the Hall of Fame. Bob Waterfield, quite a quarterback duo we had there with him and Norm Van Brocklin, and Bob Waterfield, one of the highest profile athletes in Los Angeles back in that era. So far, I have not made a single change from last year's top 50, the top 50 I presented as YouTube shorts. That changes right here. Moving up here from number 23 to number 16, wide receiver Cooper Kupp. Man, there's some great receivers on this list. Kupp was a 3rd-round pick in the 2017 draft. He has been named NFL Offensive Player of the Year. He is a Super Bowl champion. He is a Super Bowl MVP. He is a first-team All-Pro, and he won the NFL Triple Crown as a receiver. Now, his march into the top 10 all-time has been stalled a little bit. Still has a shot. Needs to bounce back, but for right now, I still have him as my 23rd greatest Ram ever. Number 15, wide receiver Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. Yeah, we're going on a bit of a run with the oldies but goodies here, and we're also about to hit a bunch of really, really good players. Hirsch was drafted by the Rams, the 5th overall pick in the 1945 draft, but did not join the Rams until 1949. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, 1951 Triple Crown winner, right alongside Cooper Kupp, and he was named to the NFL's 100-year anniversary team, and needless to say, a member of the Hall of Fame, 5th on the Rams' all-time receiving list, and what a list it is. A couple more guys coming up that are on that list as well. Number 14, wide receiver Torrey Holt, one of my all-time favorite players. not just because of the way he played and how productive he was for a long time, but because of his character, the way he carried himself, and what he brought to the greatest show on turf. 6th overall pick in the 1999 draft out of North Carolina State. Boy, did he arrive at the right time. Everything coming together. A perfect storm that was about to hit the National Football League. Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Orlando Pace. Oh, don't get me started. Holt was first-team All-Pro once, second-team All-Pro another time, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL receiving yardage leader, and a member of the 2000s All-Decade Team, and a Super Bowl champ. Finished in the top 10 as far as receptions, receiving yards, and receiving TDs in 5 straight seasons. Not as flashy as some of his contemporaries, and that probably hurts him in the eyes of a lot of NFL fans, but the statistics, the data does not lie. Torrey Holt, one of the best receivers of his generation, should be in the Hall of Fame, isn't yet, maybe next year. Number 13, quarterback Norm Van Brocklin. This is the last of our 4 guys from the 1950s, all Hall of Fame members. Van Brocklin was the 37th overall pick in the 1949 draft out of Oregon. He went on to become a 3-time All-Pro player, 6-time Pro Bowler with the Rams, added some more with the Eagles, 1950s All-Decade Team, and an NFL champ in that 1951 season we've talked about a couple times. And we also talked about this game in 1951 on opening night. Van Brocklin threw for an NFL record 554 yards. And yes, as I mentioned, another member of the Hall of Fame. Number 12, offensive tackle Jackie Slater. Big Bad Jackie, 3rd-round pick out of Jackson State in 1976. I was looking at his bio and doing the math. Yeah, he played 10 years for the Rams. Well, wait a minute. That's not right. He played 20 years for the Rams. 20 years on that offensive line. Played alongside guys like Dennis Hara and Kent Hill. He was voted the National Football League NFC Offensive Lineman of the Year 4 times. Played in 259 games for the Rams from 1976 to 1995. Then a record for offensive linemen. What a great offensive line that was, too. He was a 4-time second-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, blocked for Eric Dickerson, of course, and Dickerson probably owes a lot of his success to guys like Jackie, and Slater is a member of the Hall of Fame. And, you know, I told you at the beginning, I'm considering everything when it comes to these assessments, these rankings. How great were they in their prime? How long did they play for the Rams? How many Pro Bowls? How many awards? Jackie checks all the boxes. A great offensive lineman, and he played for 20 years. Just imagine that. And I have fond memories of Jackie, that little scuffle with Mark Gastineau. That was a thing of beauty. Big Bad Jackie Slater.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
This episode is supported by FX's Clipped, the scandalous story of the 2014 Clippers owner's racist remarks captured on tape and heard around the world. The series charts the tape's impact on a dysfunctional basketball organization striving to win against their reputation as the most cursed team in the league. Starring Lawrence Fishburne, Jackie Weaver, Cleopatra Coleman, and Ed O'Neill. FX's Clipped, streaming June 4th, only on Hulu.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Number 11, running back Steven Jackson. Now, some of you are probably thinking, I'm up to number 11. I'm not even including Steven Jackson, but surprise, surprise, I have him rated much higher than most probably. And if you disagree, just go watch the tape. Steven Jackson in his prime was as good as any running back the Rams have ever had. On second thought, maybe Todd Gurley, Eric Dickerson, or Marshall Faulk would have a thing or two to say about that. But sorry, man, I just love the way Steven Jackson played the game. Out of Las Vegas and Oregon State, the Rams drafted him 24th overall in the 2004 draft. Two-time second-team All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowler. The Rams' all-time leading rusher, by the way. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Probably doesn't have a shot because he played on a lot of poor teams. The dark days of St. Louis, but Steven Jackson was the bright spot. There are many games where he was the only reason to watch. Love the way he played. Love the way he ran the rock. Great receiver as well and tough as nails. Great attitude, high character. You have a hard time finding anything negative to say about Steven Jackson. If he had played on winning teams or another franchise that had some playoff runs during his time, he'd be in the Hall of Fame already. And that's what really bugs me. These voters, fans, and so-called experts can't see through that and can't recognize the greatness of Steven Jackson. He happened to play on some pretty dismal teams. Doesn't take away from the fact he was one of the, if not the greatest running back of his generation. I'll take him over any of his peers. My guy, SJ39. Well, I get all effusive about one of my favorite players, and there's another one. Number 10 on my list, wide receiver Isaac Bruce. Second-round pick out of Memphis in the 1994 draft. Second-team All-Pro, four-time Pro Bowler, NFL receiving yardage leader in 1996. A Super Bowl champ and a member of the Hall of Fame. The Rams' all-time leading receiver with 14,109 yards. What a run on receivers this team has had. And a common thread, classy guys, great teammates. Torrey Holt, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Henry Ellard, Isaac Bruce. Okay, we're into the top 10 here, and I'm going to pause for a second and present a player that I am not including in the top 50, and I just don't know what to do with him, where to put him if I did include him, and that's quarterback Matthew Stafford. And don't get me wrong, don't get all heated. I love the guy, and if you ask me which Ram quarterback do I want tomorrow in the game for my life, it's Matthew Stafford. Kurt Warner probably a close second. But I just feel weird including him in the top 50 of all-time Rams. He's played 41 games for the Rams, 24 wins, 17 losses. He has won a Super Bowl, though, but he's more a Detroit Lion than a Ram still at this point. It just feels strange including him. You know, I want to include him, but putting him in the 40s just seems so disrespectful. But do I put him in the top 10, top 15? I just don't know what to do with him. So if you're listening to this on the YouTube channel, feel free to comment. Tell me where Matthew Stafford belongs. I have no idea. Top 15? In the 30s? Not at all. I kind of feel like one more season, one more good run by Matthew Stafford in 2024, he'll jump into the top 15 or 20 for sure. Another Super Bowl win, maybe even the top 10. I think Matthew Stafford still has some history to write. So apologies for not including him here. He wasn't in my top 50 last year. Maybe he should have been. Maybe I'm still getting it wrong. guilty as charged if that's the case, but help me out here. Where does Matthew Stafford belong? Okay, back to our list. Number 9, offensive tackle Orlando Pace. The very first pick of the 1997 draft out of Ohio State. 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, a member of the All-2000s team, and, of course, a Super Bowl winner and a Hall of Fame member as well. Good argument stacking him up against Jackie Slater. Slater played for much longer. I think Pace took the skill level to another level, though. Number 8, running back Marshall Faulk. Colts traded Faulk to the Rams, and you know what? Faulk was not happy about it. Rams gave up a 2nd and 5th round pick. Colts used those picks for linebacker Mike Peterson and defensive end Brad Scioli. Faulk went on to become an NFL MVP, 3-time Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, and a member of the Hall of Fame. I don't know if there is ever a running back that had the entire skill set that Marshall Faulk had. The intelligence, the receiving skills, the running skills, open field skills, toughness. Marshall Faulk had it all, and what a key member of the greatest show on turf, as was our previous guy, Orlando Pace. Man, everything came together for that group. Number 7, defensive end Jack Youngblood. The 20th pick of the 1971 draft out of Florida, the epitome of toughness on a football field, played in that NFC Championship game against the Cowboys with a broken bone in his leg. He was paired up with Fred Dreyer for a while, bookend defensive ends, terrorizing the NFL. 5-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro. How was he second team? Makes no sense. 2-time NFL sack leader and a member of the 1970s All-Decade team and a member of the Hall of Fame. Hey, look up tough son of a bitch football player in the dictionary and you'll find Jack Youngblood's picture. Number 6, quarterback Kurt Warner. Well, we all know the story. Undrafted, playing arena football, working in a supermarket, and goes on to become a Super Bowl MVP and 2-time NFL MVP, 2-time first-team All-Pro, and a 4-time Pro Bowler. Led the league in passing twice, and a member of the Hall of Fame. Kurt Warner, what a story. Man, it's just amazing how all this came together for the greatest show on turf. Torrey Holt gets drafted. Isaac Bruce is still there. Orlando Pace anchoring the left. They trade for Marshall Faulk. Kurt Warner comes out of nowhere. What a team. Number 5, offensive lineman Tom Mack. The perfect name for an offensive lineman, and this guy, a lot of people don't know about him. He was incredible. 2nd round pick in the 1966 draft, played 13 years for the Rams, 4-time first-team All-Pro, 8-time All-Pro, 11-time Pro Bowler, and a member of the Hall of Fame. Think about the guys that Tom Mack practiced against, and maybe that's why he was so good. Deacon Jones, Merlin Olsen, and later on, Jack Youngblood. If you want to design the perfect guard for the National Football League in the late 60s and early 70s, it would be Tom Mack. Number 4, defensive tackle Merlin Olsen. 3rd pick of the 62 draft, played 15 years for the Rams, 6-time first-team All-Pro, 4-time second-team All-Pro, 14-time Pro Bowler, and obviously a member of the 1960s All-Decade team, and a member of the 1970s All-Decade team, and a member of the NFL's 100th anniversary team, and walked directly into the Hall of Fame. Another player who parlayed his career into a second career in Hollywood, Father Murphy and Little House on the Prairie. Merlin Olsen, a gentleman off the field, not so much on the field. Number 3, running back Eric Dickerson. In 1983, the Rams traded up with the Oilers and drafted Dickerson number 2 overall, right after John Elway got drafted. He was the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year NFL Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time NFC Offensive Player of the Year, and 5-time first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler. Led the league in rushing 4 times, and was a member of the 1980s All-Decade Team, could go on here, and a member of the NFL's 100th Anniversary Team, and he still holds the single-season rushing record. Eric Dickerson, man, him and his goggles, watch out. Get out of his way or be prepared to get rolled. Down to the last 2. Who do you think I got here? Number 2, defensive lineman Deacon Jones. So the story goes, the Rams were scouting some running backs at Mississippi Valley State, and they found this defensive tackle that was outrunning running backs. You know, there wasn't coverage in all these teams and all these players back then like we have now. A lot of guys probably got overlooked, and Deacon Jones almost got overlooked, but the Rams stumbled across him. Drafted in the 14th round in 1961, earned the starting job as a defensive end next to Merlin Olsen, went on to become the 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, and led the league in sacks 5 times, and he actually created that term, the sack. Member of the 1960s All-Decade Team, and another member of the NFL's 100th Anniversary All-NFL Team, and, of course, in the Hall of Fame. Deacon Jones changed the game, created the term sack. Him and Merlin, one half of the famous fearsome foursome, made the head slap illegal. He was just a monster. And number 1, the greatest Ram ever. Who do I have left? Well, it's obviously defensive tackle Aaron Donald, the 13th pick in the 2014 draft. Played 10 years for the Rams, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time first-team All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowler, and a member of the 2010s All-Decade Team and a Super Bowl champ. And the thing about Aaron Donald is he sealed games as a defensive tackle for the Rams over and over again. How often do you see that where you need a play from a defensive lineman in the NFC Championship game and then in the Super Bowl to lock it down to end the game for our Rams? It was Aaron Donald. Just a beast. Guy worked so hard. Guy was extremely gifted, but man, he took nothing for granted, worked his butt off, might have been the hardest working player in the NFL, and he was rewarded handsomely, was recognized as the best player in the NFL on the defensive side. Some would say on either side of the ball, and some would say the greatest player in the history of the National Football League. There's my number 1, Aaron Donald. I know y'all saw it coming. Next, we're going to get to our Mount Rushmores, and then our final Mount Rushmore. That'll be the next episode. That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.